What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Mandisa, and I'm here today to discuss 10 legal considerations that you should make before you launch your business. Now, even though these considerations are extremely helpful before you start, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, these considerations should be made if they haven't already. So stay tuned so we can get right on into it. Consideration number one, trademark your business name. You want to make sure that you trademark your business name because you can't build a house on land you don't own. If you don't own the rights to your business name, you are essentially telling the world that I really don't care about my brand. Because what happens is that if you don't secure the protection for your business name, you could potentially lose that business name to someone else who goes ahead and secures those rights before you do. The other risk that you run by not going through the trademarking process and at least looking into it is that you could potentially be infringing on someone else's rights by using your business name. And if you want a personal anecdote or an actual example of that, I'll link my video down below talking about the time I actually infringed on someone else's trademark rights before I knew anything about business and intellectual property. And so, if I, as an attorney, can make that mistake, then I know that there are other people out there who can as well. And so, that's why consideration number one is trademarking your business name. Consideration number two is filing your business entity with the Secretary of State. There are loads of different business entity structures you can choose from. You can choose a sole proprietor, a partnership, an LLC, a corporation, a nonprofit. Just depends on what you're looking for your business's structure. Speak with an attorney to decide which one is best for you. Filing your business with the Secretary of State is how you're going to separate the risk and liabilities that come along with business from your liabilities and risks that come along with just your personhood, right? You don't want to have liabilities and risk attached to you individually if they're actually business risks and liabilities. And the way that you create that separation is through filing your business entity with the Secretary of State. Tells the world that you are creating essentially a separate legal person who is taking on all of the risk and liability associated with running and operating this business that you're starting. In that same vein, you also have to set up different identity numbers for this separate legal person that you create by filing with your Secretary of State. What do I mean by that? You have to ensure that your business has a EIN, an employer identification number, and also a DUNS number. Your EIN number is what you're going to get from the IRS, and it essentially acts like your business's social security number. It is what you're going to use to file taxes for your business with the IRS, and a lot of times it's what you're going to use to open any financial bank accounts for your business as well. A DUNS number, you can think of it in the same line as you think of your credit tracking, your credit score. A DUNS number is used whenever you are looking to get a line of credit or credit cards. Some creditors will require you to have a DUNS number so that they can see the financial responsibility of your business before they lend out money to you. So that's a consideration that you should make before you launch your business. Consideration number three, formation documents. In the same line of making sure that you establish your business with the Secretary of State, you actually have to make the rules and the playbook for it behind the scenes. And so your formation documents are things like operating agreements for LLCs, founders agreements for corporations. Those are going to be essential to your business's structure because they're going to lay out the rules that work for you and your business. Now, I guarantee you, no matter what state that you live in, lawmakers in your state have made a default set of rules that will apply if you don't make your own. And so, if you have not taken the time to make your own decisions surrounding how your business will be run, guarantee you someone else has. And sometimes those rules and regulations that they have decided on don't actually line up with the values and the morals of your business and what you're looking to do. And so, taking the opportunity to have an operating agreement or a founder's agreement is going to be helpful for you in creating the identity of your business and what you actually want for your business. Consideration number four is to trademark your business logo and or your slogan. In the same vein of trademarking your business name, which was consideration number one, trademarking your business logo and or your slogan are very important as well. It's a part of your brand identity. And so you want to make sure if you have a product and your logo is on it, you have a service and your logo is all over your business cards, all over your store or your office, you want to be protecting that as well, because you don't want someone else to come along and say, oh, I like that logo, I'm going to use it for myself. And more importantly, I like the reputation that this business has built up for itself. And so I'm going to take that and try to profit off of the reputation that's already established, that you've worked so hard for, and try to profit off of it. And so protecting your business logo and your slogans are going to help prevent that from happening. And if it does, you can seek damages or assert repercussions for someone stealing the use of your trademarks. Nike has one of the most impressive intellectual property portfolios that ever existed. And they started from when they were very, very young, when they were a budding company and no one really knew who or what Nike was. They were protecting their intellectual property. They were protecting their business names. They were protecting their logos. They were protecting their trade dress, the way that they formulate their shoes. They have an impressive portfolio when it comes to intellectual property. And so, because we all have businesses that have the potential to be as big as Nike or even bigger, that have the potential to be $1 million companies, that have the potentials to create generational wealth, we have to take it seriously and we have to protect it from the beginning. And so protecting your business logo and your slogan, and really any kind of intellectual property that exists in your business, is going to be very important. Consideration number 5 is your client service or client product agreement. If you are providing a service or a product to the world, you need to make sure that the terms and expectations surrounding your providing those services or selling that product are clear. And so that agreement that goes in line with the service or product that you offer is going to be very important. It's going to have to be clear and to the point so that both parties understand what is being exchanged and what's being expected as pursuant to the agreement. You want to have clear policies outlined in your agreements, or on your website, or wherever it is that your clients will come into connection with your business. You want to have clear terms so there is no confusion. And if there is ever a question, you can direct them back to your clear terms and your clear policy. In the same vein of policies, if you offer a refund, or even if you don't, that needs to be clearly stated in your agreement and on your website. And that needs to have clear terms surrounding how a client can return your product, or how a client can get a refund for their service. Or if there is no refund, then that needs to be clear as well. There needs to be clear deadlines for any refund requests or return policies and things of that nature. There needs to be clear terms and expectations all throughout the entire agreement. Consideration number 6 is your client service agreement, but this particular consideration has to do with 2 specific terms that I want to make sure that we pull out and highlight. You want to make sure that your client service or client product agreement has clear terms surrounding your choice of law and choice of venue. If you are servicing clients or selling products to clients that don't live within the general vicinity of where you are or where your business is, you want to make sure that you make it clear that you're not flying to these states or cities that these other people live in, or that your clients live in order to face a lawsuit, God forbid, if that were to ever happen. You want to make it clear that the state laws that you reside in and that your business operates in are the rules of law that you are expecting to be held accountable to, as well as if there is ever a lawsuit, that lawsuit should be filed where you live so that you do not have to face the inconvenience of flying elsewhere to face a lawsuit according to laws that you have no familiarity with. You also want to make sure that your agreement has a termination clause. Now, we've all been a part of something that we just could not wait to end, right? And so if you have agreements with your clients, you need to make sure that there are clear ways that the agreement can be terminated. You don't want to hold people or yourself in a relationship, a working relationship, or a contractual relationship that is no longer working. And so being able to have a termination policy or a termination term within your contract is going to be essential for how you end the business relationship should it need to end. Consideration number 7 is your website privacy policy and terms of use. Now, in all 50 states, if you have a website that collects identifying information, you, by law, must have a privacy policy. If you don't, you are breaking the law, and there are repercussions for that. And so, my advice to anyone with a website, if you're unsure as to whether or not you collect information, speak with an attorney. But when in doubt, just have that privacy policy there as an assurance that you are in line with the laws of your state. The second thing that your website should definitely have as well are terms of use. Now, terms of use are not required by law, but they are definitely encouraged because they protect the website owner. By having terms of use, you are telling your website visitors and potential clients or potential customers how you intend for your website to be used. This is also the place where you will clearly denote any choice of law, choice of venue, return policies, and things of like nature, or a refund policy. This is the place where you can do something like that, where you can add this type of language on your website. Now, it does not mean that you do not have to have these terms clearly outlined in your agreements or your contracts, but it is another place that should have these terms clearly outlined as well. That by using your website, the user or the visitor to your website is agreeing to be held to the terms of use of your website. If you've ever gotten onto a website and had to agree to all the terms of use before you were able to actually use the website, that is one of the things that you should definitely consider having on your website. And we live in a digital age. If you don't have a website for your company, then you're probably losing out on a lot of sales, on a lot of potential customers, on the expansion of your business. There's probably a lot that you're losing out on by not having a website. Instagram, Facebook, I know they seem like forever, but they may soon one day pass away, or they may soon have glitches. We've seen that happen before. And so having an online presence that you can control is very important as well. And so because that is the case, we also have to make sure that we take care of the legal there as well. Consideration number 8 is going to be to copyright any webinars or presentations or courses that you may have within your business. Now, a lot of people are entering into the course space. They're not just offering services and products, they're actually teaching their expertise and their knowledge behind the subject area or business matter to other people. It's become a stream of income for a lot of people, especially in the world of post-COVID. And so if you have developed a webinar, a presentation, or a course of some sort, you need to be protecting that as well, making sure that there's copyright attached to it and that you're filing those copyrights with the United States Copyright Office so that if someone were to steal your material, you have a way of recuperating from them. Now, when we talk about copyright, what kinds of things can be copywritten? You can copyright a book, an ebook, a podcast. You can copyright website content. You can copyright a course curriculum or the videos that are in your course. There are loads of things that you can protect through copyright. If you need help going through your business inventory and taking catalog of what can be protected, definitely reach out to a licensed attorney to be able to help you with that. Consideration number 9. Now, I know a lot of us are solo entrepreneurs doing it all by ourselves, but that's not always going to be the case. I am decreeing and declaring that you will have the help and the resources that you need to take your business to the next level. In line with that, you need to make sure that you have employee agreements as well as independent contractor agreements ready to go for when that time comes. You want to make sure that you are protecting those working relationships and clearly outlining the expectations and what's being exchanged and all of that good stuff in that agreement. By having someone work with you to bring your business vision to life or to expand your business or scale your business is very helpful. But in the same line, we have to make sure that we're protecting that working relationship through a contract. We don't want any, misunderstandings to come about. And sometimes we can't prevent those things from happening. But when they do come about, if we have a contract that clearly outlines what's supposed to happen, then there's no argument to be had. We just have to play by the rules that we agreed to. And if there ever is a dispute that ends up in court, then the contract is going to clearly tell the court how it should rule. And so you want to make sure that you have those agreements in place and ready to go for when you do have that help that's sent along the way. And consideration number 10 isn't really a legal consideration, but it kind of is. It's to have fun. I'm mandating that it is a law that you have fun in your business. You didn't go into entrepreneurship just to do something that you're miserable at. You have to at least enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. And I know that there are a lot of stressors that come along with operating a business, especially if you've never done it before and don't really know how to do it through maybe mentors or other things, and you're just figuring it out as you go. But this should be a fun process. So work with other professionals that can help handle the things that you're not an expert at so that you can focus on the things that you enjoy doing. If you have a bakery or if you do hair, that's what you went into business to do, to have fun doing those things. Everything else, delegate it to a professional who can help you. And so really my last legal consideration for you is to work with professionals. Work with a lawyer to handle the legal side of your business. Work with an accountant to handle the accounting and the finances of your business. Work with a therapist to handle the mental stress and work through all of the mental things that go on and the mental health issues that go on by nature of being an entrepreneur. A lot of people don't talk about the wellness surrounding entrepreneurship. And so work with professionals to help make this journey a lasting one, right? Those are my considerations for you today. I hope that this video has been helpful. If you have any questions or want to continue talking about what we've discussed here today in the comment section, leave me a comment down below and I promise to get back to you. Let's continue the conversation and really cultivate a community that engages in this kind of conversation. The more you know and the more you share, the better we all get. If you, like I said, I'm going to list those videos that I referenced throughout the video down below. I got this idea to make this video from a fellow YouTuber, Erin On Demand. I'll link her video down below as well. She shared some useful tips of things that you should consider before you launch your business, but she came from it from her zone of genius. And so this is my zone of genius, legal considerations for business. And so that is why I'm here sharing these kinds of tips with you here today. Again, I hope that today's video has been helpful, and God willing, I will see you next time.